How are you? This is going to be a Friday vlog, basically no intro, no script, no nothing, no white screen behind me. This is supposed to be kind of maybe a regular weekly thing on a Friday, but it's supposed to be just my opportunity to be able to talk about what I'm reading and whether I like it or not, and whether you should pick it up. So I've got my Kobo e-reader here, and I call him George. Reason why is because there is a giant George R.R. Martin signature on it. So what I'm currently reading right now, which I'm exactly about halfway through, is The Sisters Brothers. For those of you who do not know what The Sisters Brothers is, it's a Western story that revolves around the Sisters Brothers. And I'm not kidding, that's not the euphemism for anything. It's basically these Charlie and Eli sister. They're two gunmen for hire, and they are tasked to go to San Francisco to try to track down someone who owes someone else a lot of money. I picked it up because I was told it was good, and it was a good story to be able to tell, but I don't know. It took a little bit for me to be able to get into it. It wasn't until maybe about a quarter of the way through that I was like, okay, I can finally actually be able to get used to this. I gotta switch sort of angles here. Switch hands. So it was a story that I liked that I like a little bit now. Now I'm about halfway through. I know I'm going to be able to finish it, and I don't know, it's definitely, if you like Westerns, you'll like this. And the thing is, what I've noticed about Western stories, and I've read and seen a lot of them in movies and books and stuff like that, is that generally Western stories, they're always very simple. Basically, the gist of the story, the whole summary of the story is the story. There's no twists, there's no plot changes or whichever. It's always the exact story that you expect it to be. The only surprise really is how they get to finish that story, whether it's revenge or whether it's just a lone writer out trying to be able to do good in the world, that kind of stuff, or the only other surprise is really the ending, whether or not the protagonist lives or dies. So Westerns are kind of like that, and they've always kind of been. So this one is very similar to that. It definitely is in that style. There's not much in regards to complexity to the story. It's really about just the story of told by Eli, one of the brothers, and it's basically just them trying to be able to finish this job and hopefully be able to retire, supposedly. But anyway, that's what I'm reading. What I'm going to be reading next, if I can be able to turn this thing on with one hand, because it's in sleep mode right now. I actually really do love the Kobo book reader. It's fantastic. I'd almost want to say even better than the Kindle, but then again, I've never really used a Kindle before, so I don't know. Anyway, the next book I'm probably going to read is, if you can be able to see, it's really hard to kind of tell. You can see in the bottom there is Nocturnal by Scott Saylor. It just came out on April 3rd. You can pick it up. I picked mine up, obviously, in the Kobo bookstore, but you can be able to pick it up at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. I definitely recommend checking it out. I listened to the podcast, not version of it, and it's been a while since I've read it, so I'm interested to be able to see what changes have been made, and also basically what the story is going to be like now, because again, it's been a while, so I can't remember everything that happened in the book. So I'll definitely be reading that next. If you want to join along, actually, you can be able to pick up Nocturnal. Like I said, it's by Scott Saylor, buddy of mine. He helped me out a lot. Actually, my first podcast, Novel Black Shadow, was promoted when he was doing the Nocturnal podcast novel version of this book. So I'm kind of excited to be able to read this. Anyway, like I said, the main thing about these vlogs is that it's not necessarily about showcasing what I'm reading and telling you whether to be able to pick this up. It's more to try to inspire you to keep reading, because really, I could talk about news about ebooks and distribution and different models and stuff like that, but the real benefit that I think that to all these different changes in the way the book publishing industry is changing is they're losing the fact that they're not encouraging people to read, and that's what I want to be able to try to do. It doesn't matter what device you're reading it on, whether it's paper or electronic, or what kind of format it's in, whether you buy it off the Amazon store or the iBook store or Barnes & Noble, or even go into an actual brick and mortar store. It's all about the joy of reading, the enjoyment factor of the entertainment of a book, and I just want to encourage you, pick up a book, read it. I'm going to be very reading rainbow about it. It's more about the fact that I love reading and I want you to love reading too. So that's it for me. I'm going to be able to go home. It's Easter weekend, so I'm going home for the weekend. And I hope I will have a new episode of 2 Minute Stories actually out on Monday, but it'll be Monday night because that's when I can be able to get it back home here in Toronto to be able to upload it. So that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below what you're reading or whether or not you've read The Sisters Brothers or you're going to read Nocturnal. And I'd like to be able to see what you guys think. Anyway, that's it for me. As always, I remain obedient to yours. Bye.